Good night of Shabbos, everyone. Shabbos Mevorachim, Chodesh Adar Sheni, the month in which Purim will be, as Hashem Yisbarach, with God's help. And we know that this week, yesterday, Thursday, or by us Wednesday night, there was an announcement by the Russian leader, Mr. Putin, that he's attacking and invading Ukraine. And in hearing about this, I heard names like Kherson, Nikolaev, Kiev, Kharkov. And for me, this hits home. Why does it hit home? Because this is the smetana. The smetana means the best part of the cream. Sour cream, the smetana. When milk becomes sour, the smetana is the richest part, the cream of the crop, the top. This is the smetana of Lubavitch, of Chabad. Our ancestors came from these towns and villages and cities. My father-in-law, Reb Chaim Serebransky, and the family were in Kharkov, in the same house, I think from 1905 till 1939 when they had to run away. Kharkov, the corpse from Kharkov, so many families from Kharkov. Nikolaev, the Rebbe was born in Nikolaev. Kherson, you have a famous chassid, Psalke Khersoner, Psalke Voshansky, Psal Voshansky, the Voshansky family came from the Kherson colonies. Kiev, Mount Charshmei, Kiev, capital of Ukraine. It's under attack. So how do we, Yidden and Hasidim, look at these things? I'm not a prophet, nor the son of a prophet. However, everything that happens is bashgocha protis, is divine providence, and has a message, and has a reason, and has a purpose, and there's something for us that we could do, and should do, and must do, to use in the right way. So one thought is that we need to keep the cities and their messages the way Chabad Hasidus teaches us alive and well. We need to keep Kherson, Kiev, Nikolaev, and Kharkov, just to name a few, fresh and not stale. What do I mean that fresh and not stale? Very simple. We live in America, we live in Canada, we live in Australia, we live in Eretz Yisrael. Yes, there's a revival of Yiddishkeit in Russia and Ukraine. There's hundreds of shluchim, Baruch Hashem, with Rebbe Lazar, Rebbe Kamenetsky, Shmuel Kamenetsky at the helm in Ukraine, and Rebbe Lazar in Russia. And they're doing Gedolos v'neflois, great things, absolutely. Nevertheless, most Yidden don't live there. Most Jews live outside. A Lubavitcher needs to know that this is the bread and butter. The Rabbeim were for 102 years. That's what the Frierdiker Rebbe says in Lubavitch. So Lubavitch is Belarusia, used to be called White Russia, but nevertheless, it's that entire region. A little further, a little closer, but it's that entire region. The message of Lubavitch is Warmkeit, warmth, Bruderschaft, brotherliness, togetherness. When we hear that there's an attack on Kharkov, Nikolaev, Kherson, or Kiev, it's like we're being attacked right here in Brooklyn, or right here in Eretz Yisrael, or in Melbourne, or wherever you are in a free society where there's no war and there's no issues. So in a way, Lubavitch is under attack. I know it sounds very outrageous to say that, and maybe some will say it's ridiculous, but To me, this is something that I think about. I'm sure there are many other thoughts and ideas that people have, and gewaldig, kol hakavod, great. But to me, our center, which later was transplanted to America, Crown Heights, with the Frierdiker Rebbe, the Rebbe, no question about it. But nevertheless, it doesn't take away from where our ancestors came from, where the movement was for 102 years. So this is a reminder that we need to keep these traditions alive and well. Now, I don't mean to say we have to be Russians, because we're not Russians, okay? And we don't have their mindset, and we don't want to go through their experiences that our ancestors went through in the hardest of times, with famine and hunger and death and murder and communism and all the terrible things. We finished that a long time ago, Baruch Hashem. But when this happens, it says, stay fresh, stay Lubavitch. Don't capitulate to the machinations of the world, to the modernity that appears all over, everywhere, and is justified. Remember that we are Lubavitchers. We are Nikolaev, Kharkov, Kherson, and Kiev. That's who we are as Yidden, as Lubavitch. And we need to share that with our communities and our friends and our, most importantly, children and grandchildren. So this is just a short thought as we go into Shabbos Mevorachim. We'll say L'chaim, that this war ends, there should be no more death. The whole idea of death and killing is not something that we should want for anyone. Especially there's a lot of Yidden there. Everyone should be safe and sound. Kodesh Baruch Hu should help us have only simchas, and Mashiach should come immediately and take the entire world to a new place, a place of peace and hope and togetherness. And we'll be zeicher to see our Rebbe B'Roshenu dance together, b'simcha and Purim, b'Yehudim ha'Yisrael b'simcha v'sosen v'kor. It'll be over Napachud. It will be transformed from the negativity of war to the richness of peace and harmony in Yerushalayim, Ira Kodesh, b'mheira v'yameinu speedily, amen v'amen.